You are now tuned in to Uptown Talk.
Nigga blackballing us and shit.
Damn you.
I'm about to say nigga undercover sexist.
Yeah, he on D'Angelo Russell shit.
Word.
Come on
shit.
now, we'll cut it.
Alright.
Maybe. If I feel like it.
Nigga, we don't cut it. I'm hereby resigning.
I ain't gonna front. Pouring up a drink right before we do like a pie, it make me feel like I'm mad, man.
Yeah.
These niggas literally poured a drink for everything they was doing.
Yeah.
What I'm learning is I gotta start like sipping though, cause I don't really be sipping like that.
Oh, word?
That's because
Yeah,
you ain't really have a college era like that.
Wait, what the fuck? Niggas sip drinks in college?
No, that's what I'm saying. In college, you down them shits, and then at one point, you be like, I can't keep doing this.
That makes sense. That make a lot of sense. I ain't gonna lie. You just like debunked a lot of my like growing up. What was that about?
Hey man, I experienced college.
Cause you're right. Now in my maturity,
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Let's savor every moment of this.
Nah.
Oh, the drink, right?
Yeah.
Nah, listen,
Nah, I do be having that moment too.
I kind of knew because I was like, I remember when Tyler was really starting drinking, I'm like, nigga, I can't do this. I was like, he was like, come on, another shot. I was like, bro, that was half a cup.
He's hitting the bottle kind of hard.
Word.
my Gemini nature, you gotta jump in head first.
And you know, I was never really a drinker like that in college as is, but
Yeah.
I had one bad night with Taylor Port, and that really, so I was like,
Nigga, I probably had the Taylor Port was literally like an era. That shit. Well, I wouldn't even say an era. That shit was a phase. Like that, I had like a little bit of a minute with that shit, and that was about it. Honestly,
I've never drank that shit.
Word.
You never had Great Penny?
I think I had teleport one time. Tosin just said teleport, but which is you guys' worst drink that got you guys like to that level, like twisted?
Oh, like some shit I'm never drinking again.
Yeah, basically.
Fireball.
Oh
That
yeah,
cinnamon whiskey
yeah.
shit,
I do
nigga.
remember that shit.
First off, Sean, you're so nasty, bro. I don't know how you love Fireball. Like,
Nigga, I stopped drinking Fireball mad long ago. So.
the fact that you even was
That
drinking the Fireball was a
That was
problem.
debunk what he just said. Though.
Nah, I ain't gonna front. Yeah, I kind
like it,
of.
though.
It was like I was going through a little dark period one time. Oh shit! But
Why your stomach start having PTSD?
well,
It said,
My
not again.
God, nah.
Mention the Fireball.
What is it? The braids? Nah, I'm fucking with you. But nah. Like I remember one time I walked in this nigga car and he was like, damn, nigga, what the fuck?
He's like,
Nigga, it's 1 o'clock. It's like, nah, it's a lot going on right now, bro.
You know what's funny? It didn't make it any better that you came out with like the stained wife beater on. Too.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, my boy's down bad.
Yeah, that's the young drunk starter pack.
Word, I was in that bitch looking like Franklin and shit.
Word. Wife beater, hair wasn't done. I was like, nah, let me call AA right now.
Nigga, I walked in the car like, the nigga had his camera in the back. I'm walking like, proud of you, yo.
I'm proud of you. You my friend.
Yo,
and I'm proud of you.
When you drunk, you start giving a speech. That's when you know you at that
Word.
level. Like,
Nah, that's a fact.
Nah,
super
but you
lit.
have to appreciate it because I used to get annoyed by niggas always want to like be like, yo, I love you, bro. It's either that or niggas start swinging. So,
or
I'm about to
niggas
say
start
you
hugging
pick your
aggressively.
poison.
huh?
Or niggas start grabbing you by the shoulder and start hugging you aggressively all around your neck.
Yeah, you
Super aggressive.
Yeah, you used to do that.
Yeah.
Back in
That is because he's strong as hell.
No, I know, but
I wasn't that
no,
strong
it's
back
different
then.
though. You know, like when you have a strong friend, and I mean like a physically strong friend, you know the difference between he's hugging you and versus the drunk one where he like flexing his muscle.
Exactly.
And I'm like, nigga,
Man,
relax.
I ain't gonna front.
Unintentionally, yo.
I forgot what I was drinking that night. Like last summer when I was at your crib, Todd. It was a bad night. It was going relationship problems, all types of shit going on.
Damn.
Yeah,
Not the
nah,
relationship problems.
nigga, I was down bad. And it's crazy. That shit came right off of when we went to fucking Ariana's joint.
Oh yeah, you was down bad back then.
Bro, I was
remember
down.
that.
I was down so bad because you know, like when you know when shit hit the fan. Like whenever shit hit the fan with your shorty, the first time you get a chance to like
to let loose.
you like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm feeling good, and I was feeling good that day.
Nah, it wasn't.
Nigga,
I
until
didn't
later
help
that
neither.
night.
I didn't help neither. I was in my free band gang.
Yeah,
my
this
free
nigga-
band bag. So I was over here telling her, like, nah, bro, you know, you gotta let loose.
Word,
Take a little shot.
word, just vibe out, like, and we was in there. I ain't gonna front. We was in there feeling ourselves though.
No, first off, The Spanish people know how to party.
Nah.
hold you.
That shit was in Patterson too. That shit was lit.
Word, bro. I was over there singing to Mad Bad Bunny and shit.
Yo, I forgot what that spot was called too.
I don't know. I'm gonna find out from Ariana, but she was like, it's funny too, because she was like, yeah, Rashawn had a lot of fun. Because remember I left?
Yo, yeah.
I had left. I was like, and she's like, wait, you about to leave, Toast? I said, yeah, man. He's like, wait, where they going? He's like, oh, I can pull up with them? I said, I'm pretty sure you can. And then Ariana hit me. She was like, I knew because we was playing Fortnite. She was like, yeah, he really enjoyed himself.
yo, me really thinking back, like all my times I was lit, it was always with you guys. And me being an introvert kept to myself and like drinking and trying to keep up with you guys, it always got me to the point where I was about to throw up.
Oh no, not.
It's right. Let me finish. It got me to the point I was about to throw up, and then it got me to the point where I was throwing up in people's cars.
I ain't gonna front.
Yeah.
This is
my Lexus never was the same after that
man.
shit. I had to get rid of her.
Yo, no bullshit. Also, too, just to finish that night off, like. I ain't front. We ended up going, like, it was like a group of her friends though. We was chilling at the crib. They was playing Uno and shit like that. And afterwards, we was all leaving out. She was like, yo, you know how to fucking party. And that was the first time I ever heard some shit like that. Cause you know my ass. I be chilling, like I don't be doing much or whatever.
We usually hear it was like, all right, me and you together. But I was like, wait, Sean was lit like this?
Nigga, I went back to Talib's crib, whatever. Like, I think, Kayla called me or whatever. We talking blase blah, blase blah. She hang up on my ass. I come back to this nigga Tyler. I'm like, I love you, bro. This nigga was like, nah, it's okay, bro.
Snotty,
no bullshit. I was snotty, teary eyed. I know this nigga threw his shirt away. Like, this nigga just rubbing my back. Like,
the ugly crying.
Like, I know this nigga looking like, yo, you gonna be alright, bro. Like, you good.
That's what the brotherhood is.
Nah, listen. Those post times when you like, your relationships on the end and you get drunk and lit, them shits need to be recorded.
Nigga,
yeah.
I went out to go drive back home, bro. I was like, you know what? What's it called? I'm like lit as fuck. I can't really drive right now. I'm like, let me just take a little nap. Nigga, I woke up. I hit chirp. I'm like, what the fuck? Nigga, it was like 10 o'clock. I'm like, wait, hold up. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I was like, bro. Hell no.
You know it's bad when you call out of work too the next day.
Nah, it was Sunday, so I was good.
Sunday? Yeah. Nah, I didn't have my heart broken and called out to work the next day. That shit was bad.
Bruh.
You know it was bad because I was sometimes my ass, whenever I get my heart broken, I got to be completely in the mood. Like, my ass, I go in my room, I turn the lights in my room, the LED joints in my room, turn to red, start praying Drake, leaving me. What's the rest of that?
Wait, hold up. What song you talking about?
What's the song? He be like, leaving me. I forgot how it go, but it's what's that song with you ever always see Tekashi 6ix9ine and he like drinking alcohol.
Nigga,
I forgot what it's called.
I don't watch that.
I don't know why I thought he was about to start singing Marvin's Room.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought you was about.
It's not Marvin's Room. It's one of them Drake
that's
bag songs. But I knew I was bad because I had like a bottle. I was drinking the bartender out the bottle.
Oh no, I ain't gonna front.
That shit is delicious. Though.
It is.
Nah, you start. But you get
that was
bad.
like lightweight heartbreak. That ain't.
No, you ever had Angel's Envy?
What the fuck?
It's whiskey.
Oh hell no.
Whiskey, bro.
You experiment?
I'm not. Actually, it's really good. Like, I meant to buy it for the podcast, but I ain't had time to go get it. It's real. I was gonna pour us all up with it, but next time. Nah, that Angel's Envy is good. Though.
I've never had that shit before.
I threw up though. I definitely.
It's good.
I mean, it ain't good when you drink half the bottle.
Yeah, that's never good.
Bruh.
I was in that joint. I was like, damn, you know, I was throwing up through my nose out there.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Jeez.
Imagery on that one.
Yeah, listen, man. I usually never get caught throwing up. So
I don't think I've ever gotten. Well, no. I've thrown up at Tyler's crib before.
I throw up at Tyler's crib.
I forgot one time. I forgot.
Weaklings.
We went out to eat.
You weak.
I didn't throw up at your house.
No, I remember when Tyler threw up.
Yeah, you threw up at my house.
When?
The cookout.
Oh yeah, I was
all,
down.
All the cookouts.
Yeah. Nah, I was fucked up. I was fucked up.
Man, he was bad. I'm like, yo, I came back to my room just to go get like some clothes or something. I see this nigga fucking curled up in my bed.
Yeah.
Fucking nothing but boxes. I was like, you got the fucking audacity.
Yo, I don't. Wait, you want to finish?
I was about to say, I just knew it was bad because I had to, after, I'm like, damn, this nigga gotta be drunk. And I'm like, I went to the bathroom. It smelled like throw up.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew you tried to clean it up, but it was just so half-assed because I seen the fucking bath rugs rolled up inside the fucking, the fucking shower
Yeah, nigga,
bucket.
I was drunk.
Yo, I don't know what's worse. Him being just in drawers, drunk in your bed, or me being fully clothed with my outside clothes on toilet bed, drunk. He really came in there so pissed. Bro, I know he really loved me after this stuff. Then when I ran to the bathroom, I really ran to the bathroom, really just threw up in the toilet, and I know that was my only saving grace because he looked at me. He was like, "Come on, bro." Come on, bro. I was like, I couldn't even. I was like, I'm sorry.
Wait, was that the time? Was that wasn't 420? Remember 420? We had like 5 blunts. This nigga threw up.
No, I was about to say. Do you mind if we speak about that time? The time,
nigga, we talking about all the time.
Line it up.
We literally all thrown up.
We was like, me and Sean was like fucked up, but you was fucked up. But I thought you were just out because he had went to sleep.
Yeah.
Tosin,
like,
don't fail to mention that I'm the. I mean, the picture's already been painted. I'm the lightest weight out of all of them.
Yeah, Quan literally never really smoked or nothing.
I've never really been like a average drinker
or smoker.
I only indulge with my guys.
I remember it was bad because I was like, we was playing a video game, and then we just heard this nigga go. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm thinking like something about to pop out his chest. This nigga will come up and then open his eyes and throws up all in front of him, and I'm like, damn. Because the worst thing about it is, I remember Tyler was kind of fucked up, but he just went to sleep. This nigga's like, he too drunk to clean himself up. So me and Sean over here mopping this shit up, and we fucked up.
Word.
That's how I knew this.
Bro,
That's how I knew Tosin loved me, bro.
I was mad as shit cleaning this shit. I was like,
no, because I remember
my puke.
I remember that shit because literally I remember we had like 5 blunts that day. Like,
and we was drinking.
Yeah. But mind you, like me and you fucking smoke all the time around that time. So literally we was like, yo, let's pass it around. We doing 5 blunts around and around or whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
rapid fire. Too.
After a while, I was like, damn. I was like, yeah, this is a lot for Quan. He really don't be smoking like that. And like you said, I just seen that nigga full on Exodus fucking puke out his chest. I was like, I knew this nigga Tyler was mad. But I do remember the time for my father's birthday where this nigga Tyler fucking was mixing drinks. Literally, my dad was like, you gonna mix drinks?
Wait, was that the time we was in the club?
Yes, bruh.
Oh, that shit was funny as hell. Because I came drunk. Remember?
Because
remember y'all picked me up from Dylan's birthday was around that time too.
Mind you, my mother was at that club too. I was like, damn, this is really an old nigga club.
Yeah, shit jumping in.
I ain't gonna hold you. I think I almost bagged the cougar that night.
Shit, I ain't gonna front it. It seemed like the admission had to be like 30 and above. They just snuck us in because we was guests and shit.
Nah, we was just with dad.
I'm about to say.
Nah, we was with your dad. He had his VIP section.
Oh yeah.
He started bringing drinks over. I'm like, oh damn.
This motherfucker just left afterwards. Yeah. I was like, that's some G shit.
In true Bruce Wayne fashion, his dad paid for everything and then left early and leave us be
and went to work. I'm like,
but it's funny because I didn't know how to act.
Yo,
when he left.
Yeah. He was like,
it's funny. I thought I was
like, I'm gonna be fine, Dad. I'm really driving or whatever. This nigga. He's like, yo, appreciate you, bro. I'm like, nah, you got it, bro. He's like, yeah, do me a favor, pull over real quick.
Man, listen, I wish I got the luxury because that time when Quan threw up in my car, I swear, I just heard the noise. I didn't even look back. I was just like,
bro, yo, you think you was caught off guard, bro? I was caught off guard. I'm like,
no.
I was so mad. I was like, damn, bro, you didn't want to roll down the window.
Yo, no, I'm crying because this nigga was. First of all, I have an actual video of that shit. I gotta find it though. But this nigga really fucked up. We're literally sitting there like, I think Tosin told you like, yo, bro, like, just put your head out the window or whatever. Like, this nigga was like, yo, I'm fine, bro. It's like, he was like, bro, I'm telling you, all you hear, I'm like, bro.
Wait, time out. If we gonna get on Quad, I'm gonna get on you too, Sean.
What?
You don't forget that time you was so drunk you fell asleep on the toilet.
Legendary name.
Nah, but what's worse? It's like my mother came. Was like, who is that on the toilet?
Yeah. Mama Thompson definitely
My mother was like, is he okay? I was like, Ma, he's okay. He just had a long night.
Yo, this nigga.
I was like, Sean, get the fuck up.
This nigga tells the camera like, Sean. I'm like, huh? He's like, nigga, get up. Like, get the fuck up, bro. He's like, yo, mama. Like, my mother just came.
She was scared to death. Nah, cause my mother came in. Cause at first the real shit is my mother came in, so she was like, "Who the fuck is this on the toilet?" But because of your braids, she thought you was doing that first.
Oh.
And then she came. She's like, "Wait, who is that?" So I can imagine she was scared as shit. Like random ass homeless person broke into the house, took a shit, and then just fell asleep on the
Homeless
toilet.
nigga came in, shitted and died in the toilet and shit.
On some Elvis shit?
Yo, that's no bullshit.
Nah, that shit took the cake. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Sean?
Man.
Yo, off his Elvis.
Nah,
That's
but what's
crazy.
worse, I think too, you fell asleep with the door open.
Yeah.
Yo.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
So if you listen to this and you
I was
know
about
who
to
we
say-
are, I appreciate you, man. But if you listen to this and you don't have any idea who we are, this is Uptown Talk. We back. We here to give you our thoughts, opinions on everything.
Damn, that was a long ass interlude.
Yo, man. But
It's crazy because we got so many more stories together. Though.
no, we really do,
That
bro.
don't even.
It's
cut
funny.
It.
You can put out a card and then just put the themes and then pick random out and put it on the table and what happens.
Now we might have
Bruh.
to do that one day.
Nah,
No
that
lie, we
shit
might have to
was
do that.
crazy,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Yeah, bro.
No, but yeah, man, shoot. Glad to be back podding and everything. It's been I don't even think
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Not only it's been a while though, it's been mad shit happening.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in our personal lives, but also too just in the world in general. Excuse me 1 minute. But yeah, with that, like it's been just a bunch of stuff happening. So I don't know if we can get into all of it, but we're gonna do the best that we can. But first of all, before we just go into anything, yo, how y'all doing? How's y'all day? And you know, how y'all week been? How y'all been since the last time we potted, man?
Wait, why are we starting off with me? It's going from left to right.
I was gonna say this ain't
Was
rhetorical.
it from left to right.
Nah, I just didn't like how as soon as that shit happened, everybody looked at me. But
I know.
I
I
thought he
just
passed it to you.
or no, I thought you.
when
Nah,
did he say he was passing it to
It
me?
definitely like he looked in your direction.
nah, I definitely did. I
I feel
am.
you. Next time, say the name. But
Put a name to it.
yeah,
how you doing, though?
Nah, I'm good. I've been busy as hell. This is like probably the top 5 most times I've been busy, but in a good busy.
That's all that matters.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm enjoying a lot of music, but when I say I'm enjoying music, I'm enjoying Future's album a lot lately.
Yeah.
Man.
First or second?
Both of them.
Okay.
Both.
Nah. I'm
Both
keeping
albums.
100. The second one I usually, but it's funny whenever like Future drops an album, it's usually like that. He'll drop the second one, like for example with the Hendrix and Future,
Yeah.
and then I like the Hendrix more, but then with this one I like the second one better.
I think a lot of the stuff for me right now has been just enjoying, not getting so caught up in the outside world, being okay with like reestablishing, rebranding, reinventing myself. I mean, obviously a part of just life is like the constant reinvention of yourself, changing ideas that you have, refining old ideas that you've had. And I think for me, like, especially when it comes to like my brand and like everything that I had before it was called Shoy Ali, I've changed it to everything as product, because to me, I felt like that kind of fits just the narrative that I want to move through when it comes to me telling stories and putting out different pieces. So I've been enjoying that. The weather, just, you know, the weather changing has been a good shift for me. Like, also too, not going
Better
through.
late than never.
No, for real, bro. And like last year, like was literally the first time I had ever just like, I feel like I experienced like seasonal depression, like where it's just like, yo, I was fucked up all through winter. Like it was horrible. And then like the summer wasn't the best either. So this is like it felt like a fresh start. Like it felt like a fresh start in like a lot of different places. And with us starting to pod again, but also too with this little break, like it was one of those things where, you know, sometimes when you step away from something, like even when we step away from the pod, it would feel like, fuck, like we're not doing the pod or whatever. But we were so busy with life and things going on and our schedules being all over the place that coming back now just feels like another, like a fresh, like a breath of fresh air. Like, all right, cool. Like now we back. We could talk about shit that we got going on. So like I just been enjoying all of that and just being with Kayla, us stepping into this new stage in our relationship and everything. It's been really good, bro. It's been like I've been starting to like learn how to enjoy the very simple luxuries in life, which is like being able to take a drive to the park, being able to just sit up and, you know, watch a TV series, or sit up and come up with different clever ideas that we have and stuff like that. Just the little things, man.
Simple things.
Word.
Yeah, I agree with the monotony in your relationship, because my relationship with Keena, my girlfriend, it's super sweet and it's refreshing, and yeah, it just brought me a higher level of self-awareness, like just a greater level of self-awareness and patience. That with me tapping in deeper into my faith, me going to therapy, all these different things have just helping me and like shaping my mind, and you know, just keeping me a lot more grounded. And a thing I embraced in April, and me now embracing in May now, is just like strategy, systems, routine, and just constantly, you know, sticking to the scripts, sticking to the program, and yeah, like having something drawn out, like for example, my workout routines.
Yeah.
Me having a well-balanced sleep schedule, like me going to sleep at one time, waking up at the same exact time in the morning. Like, and it does take great discipline, but you know, waking up at 5 a.m., it gets you in that mode. And then me adapting like little small things, like me waking up, praying. First thing I do, I pray, make up the bed. Like it's just like building up like the little small wins for the day, and it propels me through my day. Propels me further during my week, and yeah, it's just been helpful, super helpful.
Nah, man, I've been seeing that, especially with a lot of their Instagram posts and things of that nature. Like you've been like really getting into like the intricate parts of the workout, but also too like coming and like talking to us and saying like, hey man, like how are different ways I could like put feedback into this, add personalities to it. Like I think you're adding layers and dimensions to like what you've already been doing already.
Yeah, listen, I told them, I said, this Instagram looks a lot more watchable right now. Yeah.
No,
for a woman's touch on this.
Nah, I know, because I think I think I had said it to him before, but I guess it more resonated when, you know, he was with baby girl. So I was over here, I was like, because when he used to put it on the story, and it's like he didn't record it to the dimensions of Instagram. So now you got the black part on the top and the bottom. I'm like, ew, brother. What is that, brother?
Ew, brother.
Ew, brother.
But you know the thing about it though is I think with anything, and this is something that I feel like we learn as we go on these different journeys of just starting something and doing something. Embarrassment and like shitty product is the price of admission when it comes to starting something that's great. You have to be okay with being shitty, or like embarrassing yourself, or not having the best video, or you know, the shit being out of how do they say when the camera is not focused or out of focus. Like you got to be okay with having those moments to happen, because they're what builds you to. People want to see your shitty first video, because a lot of times we feel as though perfection is the way that we attract, but we don't understand that people are more invested in the journey that we take getting to the crisp, clean video where you have personality, where you speak in, and because they could look at it and be like, yo, I could do that. Like, oh shit, he sucked back then. Like I could look better now. Like anytime I look at like a brand or a fashion brand, you go back and you look at the first pieces that they put out, you're like, oh damn, like this is the first piece that they had. But as time goes on, we refine. I think a lot of times, dad is one of the things that my father would tell us when we'd be in the gym. He'd be like, it's okay, like where you at today, you're not gonna be tomorrow. You know, don't get caught up on today. Like today is just a deposit into being better tomorrow, basically. So
I like that.
yeah, man.
Crazy. I've been trying to get in the gym with Tyler, but you know, he has new life updates. So.
Which he will go into now.
I promise it ain't my fault. I promise.
Nah,
but
I feel you.
It's really hilarious that like you just talked about structure, and my life right now is like embracing that there is absolutely no plans. Do not make plans. Do not say you're gonna do something. They even say like God laughs at plans. So like I'm seeing that firsthand because.
Wait, do I do a drum roll?
Yes, you can. So, my son, Tariq Akeem Nathari, was born April 11th, 10:48 p.m.
Say the name again.
Tariq Akeem Nathari. Yeah.
Standing ovation.
I was about to say, on the next episode of Power.
Standing ovation.
But it's hilarious because mad people have been saying that to me, and I promise you, like I've always liked that name even before I knew that character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and plus, so my siblings and I are all the initials TAN. So I'm Talib Anwar Nathari. Taz is Tasneem Atala Nathari. Amina Tahira Nathari. It's just like the compilation of TAN.
Yeah.
However it looks like. So we always knew we was gonna follow that. Exactly. You know, we always knew
I'll
we was
shoot
gonna
you.
follow that scream.
No,
That
it's funny.
scheme,
My family is like that too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All our first names start with ADE.
Yeah, so like, I like that. I always like knew we was going to stick to that, even if it was a girl. Like I had a girl name picked out with a T, and it was going.
Wait,
be
what
like
was it gonna
AN.
be?
Nah, we'll say
wanna
that. We'll
disclose
say
that?
that for if it happens in the future. Because now that
You
now
can't
that,
save that name for the next child.
why
Why
not?
not?
I'm absolutely gonna do that.
I could have felt. I don't know. It just felt weird. It's like you had this
Listen.
name picked out for this baby if she was a girl. Now you got to make a whole. This ain't no like leftover names.
Nah, it's just the man has to prepare for whatever it comes.
You about to get
It's
a
crazy.
baby. You
If
about
I
to get a
have
baby
boy
a hand me
next,
down name.
If I have a boy next, then I have a name picked out, and if I have a girl next, I have a name picked out.
I've literally
I feel
said,
you.
like, for me, when it comes to like a kid, I like the name Qasim.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like that's always been like, if I had a boy, I would want to name him Qasim.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just kind of flows.
I hope you watch this in a couple years and like that's your reality.
No, it is. It's gonna be my.
How you know that?
God damn.
You don't know that?
I'm about to say, I don't know why I said it like that. Well, yeah, I might have a girl.
It's funny because it's really a 50-50 chance
Nah,
every
true,
time.
true.
I think that's just hilarious. Like God was having fun when he did this because literally you have no idea. It's like really 50-50 chance every single time. But I would say that like just looking at everything that's been going on since yesterday for him made 3 weeks of him being here, I would say that really I've just realized and accepted that there is no way to do this. Like every day is going to be different. You know, there's days where I'm too tired to wake up at 3 to take him because normally like I'll take the night shift, you know, like, and shout out my wife who's been exclusively breastfeeding them and like really holding it down. But I was even telling her like, if you don't pump milk, it's like I can't really help you during the night. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can I do? Like, he gonna want you. There's nothing I can do for him. You know. So it's like sometimes I don't take the night shift, but you know if she does pump milk, it's like I might take the shift at like 3 a.m. or like 6 a.m. You know, it's like there never is like an order because 2 days ago when we went out, I was like, I'll take these shifts because I could look at her like, yeah, she tired.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and it wasn't my time to get
Yeah.
up. But it's like, nah, I'll get up. You know?
Yeah, because I'm about to say, like, I know you said with this throughout this period, it's been about like finding like the, I don't know, like you said, there's no like real like perfect way to do this. It's kind of like getting in where you fit in and kind of seeing like, okay, I guess this is how it's gonna be today,
like,
or whatever.
It's hilarious because like all the wise souls, like shout out grandma, y'all grandma first. She's been so pivotal in everything that's been going on. We did the censoring program at North Beth Israel. You know, I recommend anyone who is first any woman who is giving birth, like I recommend you go to North Beth Israel because their team really showed like an immense level of care for my wife and my son. Really helped throughout the whole process. The nurses were on point with everything, and they look like us. A lot of
I was about to ask you,
know,
were they black?
I mean, it's the healthcare industry, so you're gonna see people every.
Nah, but I
type.
know you had a couple black nurses. In
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
Nah, that's lovely.
Yeah, but they was on point. You know, like I said, the representation was there. A lot of them look like us, so you know that comfortability in itself. But yeah, that centering program, like really shout out grandma and like the team that she works with because, in something that you cannot be prepared whatsoever, I somewhat kind of felt prepared. You know, like when my wife was screaming in agonizing pain, I'm like, oh, that's a contraction. You know what I'm saying? I was probably real head ass with it. Like I popped out like, oh, I know what that, you know, and it's like that shit don't help. But like I was, you know, to be informed is like, okay, like I can at least do my part. I can support you the right way if I'm informed, you know. So shout out North Beth Israel. Shout out the censoring program. Like I said, grandma gave me a lot of wisdom. My mom, who came down to help with the baby in his first week of being home.
Shout out mama.
Yeah, shout out my mom. Love you, mommy. The wisdom they've been giving us, a real gym they told us was like, try to sleep when he sleep. And that first week I was like, it's 3:47. I'm not going to sleep. Like I'm about to watch Shogun. And then when he was up at 3:47 a.m., it was like, yo, what the hell am I doing? Like, why didn't I go to sleep? Why didn't I take those naps? Like, so I think now I'm just realizing like, all right, like I can't have my way with this. You know, I can't like, yo, he gonna go to sleep when I tell him go to sleep. And like, you know, like he not hungry right now. He just cranked. No, you don't have no answers. You don't know, and they can't communicate with you. So I really don't know.
He don't give a shit about how you feel.
Yeah, he don't.
So he wants you to wipe the shit off his back.
Yeah, for real.
And he gonna laugh.
Yeah,
or cry. Shit.
Most of the time, cry. So just accepting that I know nothing is the best wisdom, and just like really going along for the ride, you know. So I'm still in both of y'all.
I'm about to say, what did Plato say? All that I know is that I know nothing. I think.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah. But no.
He go thinking he a smart one.
Nick is always trying to bring you down. But nah, the thing about it that I wanted to get into.
I hate the way you walk.
I hate your lips because they black.
Hate the way you talk. Hate the way he speak. Everything.
I hate Whoopi Goldberg's lips. I hate the back of Fortis wear because neck. I hate my gums because they black. Nah, but
we're gonna get into hate later.
We gonna get into
hate. We're gonna get into some real hate. We're gonna get into some special, some once in a generational type of hate.
Generational hate.
Word.
Some motivational hate.
The type of hate that Dave Chappelle would laugh at and smile at and look down on with great humor. Yeah. But what I do want to get into with you is like, how has this whole thing like? It's something where you see your partner in a different light. You know, you get to see your partner go. Obviously, you never want to see your partner in pain or whatever. But it's one of those things where it's like it's literally her in this pain to bring forth life. So like, how has this kind of whole thing been with like seeing her like, and how has that like worked with y'all bond and everything?
No, 100% like transparent. Like they say a baby can like make or break you. Like I honestly feel like this is the strongest our relationship has ever been. First, because like the respect level just went up so much. Yeah. Like I respected her first because like that's my baby, but second of all, because like God tells us to in marriage, you know. But like when I'm there, like yo, this is a contraction. You gotta breathe. And she turns to me and say, Talib, you don't know how this feel. It's hard to breathe. I'm like, damn, you're right. I have no idea how this feels. You know? So it's like, damn, all I could do is try to be support for you. But then like at the end of this, like we went into labor for damn near a day, and at the end, when I see my son's head come out, it's like, what just happened here? You know, like life. Like they say like figuratively, but like life literally got different. You know what I'm saying? Like everything changed in that moment
When the
because
Fire Nation attacked. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
we wouldn't be us though if we didn't have a pop culture reference.
I'm sorry.
But like when I tell you, literally, like I have to look at her different because she is a different person now. You know, even like I appreciate you, babe, for like the dedication you put in like breastfeeding him and like making sure, you know, she gets her nutrients so he can get his. You know, it's like life really changed for us. So for me to see like how active she was in that change, it's like, wow, like actively pushing, like actively, okay, well, I got to increase my milk supply so he could eat because y'all seen it. Like my baby came out 9 pounds, 1 ounce.
Yeah, that's a big ass,
That's
baby.
That's a hefty child.
Shit.
I told you he had a doctor's appointment today. They was saying how big he was. It's like, damn. It's like, yo, you could be upset because like, yo, I'm breastfeeding him, but he still seems hungry. Or it's, I got to increase my milk supply. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, we not allowed to dwell in, but what's happening? I can't control this right now. No, you gotta make a way. Yeah, you gotta figure it out.
I was like, that boy just like his father. I was like, he came late and all.
But see, that's a prime example of what I'm saying though, because the day that we all went out, when I tell y'all, like I'll talk to Sean on the phone, I'm like, yo, the event is from 6 to 9. So like fashionably late would be like 7:15. Like I'm gonna try to get there at 7:15. When I saw my wife breastfeeding this little boy at 6:14, I'm like, okay, I don't know how 7:15 is gonna happen. But then when I seen her have to get him undressed to change him at 6:47, it's like, okay, we're definitely not doing 7:15. Let's try to shoot for 7:30. Like, you see what I'm saying?
That's a lie in itself right there.
Life just changed.
I just want to ask you this, Ty. So I know that the first name was something that was your decision and stuff. With the middle name, who chose that?
I did
as well.
Yeah, okay. Julia let me choose everything about his name. Okay. It's funny because Akeem is from my brother-in-law. Shout out Mark. Yeah, that's his middle name. Okay, and my brother-in-law, he's just a good man. Okay. That's above all, you know, like we cool, you know. And I hope you see this because like you got to give people their flowers. Like, above all, it's like, yo, like you just like you cool and all, but like yo, you're a good man, and like I'm happy to know that my son will have you as an uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like he has like y'all as uncles too, you know. But literally, like that's my wife's brother. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like and the big brother at that. So it's like he really does play that role, you know. So if I could give him that first name, you know, because I never wanted a junior. That's another thing too. Like I want him to have his own legacy, but like. Okay, I do want to keep like the family ties in it, and it's like, nah, your uncle is like a great man, you know.
That's always crazy too, because I kind of felt like that too, but I just didn't know. Like it always was like a weird thing for me, because I'm like, damn, like you know, I'm a junior, so like, do I want to do? I think it's a little bit different, like when you're not a junior. Yeah. So you're like, okay, like I could kind of do it, but for me, I'm like, damn, do I want to? Yeah. I don't know. I've always felt like so about it, yeah. But
I didn't feel like I needed it.
But but I feel like just going back to the day of the event or whatever. When Tosin was on the phone with me, he was like, "Yo, it was like 7:30 or whatever." He's like, "Yo, I just got here or whatever." I'm like, "All right, bet." He said, "Yeah, I think Tyler's gonna be like really late." I was like,
Tyler's gonna be a little late. I was like, actually, he gonna be a lot of late.
Yeah, he's like, Tyler's gonna be a lot of late. I was like, nigga, it's 7:30. I'm like, how much a lot of late can he be? And then I seen Tyler come around like it was like 8:20 or whatever. He came in, he was like, so where we going to after this? I'm like, I already know it.
Luckily the Africans held us down.
Nah, that's another thing I seen too. Like, yo, you cannot waste having a babysitter.
Oh,
that event was from 6 to 9, right? So we did plan to be there at a decent time, but like Julia's mom was like, yeah, I could watch him, you know, it's no problem. So like, oh, we got a babysitter? I ain't popping out for 37 minutes.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, we need to take advantage of this time.
That's why when you was like, where we going afterwards? I'm like, yeah, we got to go somewhere afterwards.
It's funny because y'all was laughing at first and y'all saw how serious I was. It was like, nah, I'm saying no. So like you said Lil Tijuana. Like niggas was laughing, but like, nah, I absolutely was not going back in the house without us going somewhere.
Yeah, it was crazy too because I was over there. I'm like, damn, bro, I actually kind of want to go home, but I'm like, I know he got a baby at home. He probably only got this night out. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna thug it out for my boy.
Nah,
When Sean hit me, I was so disappointed. I couldn't get up with y'all.
Yeah, I knew you was working, but it's funny.
Up.
It was from spur of the moment.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, I know.
Anyway,
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Nah, but with all of that, man, I just
Trying to get to the meat and potatoes.
Now that too,
Sure.
but I just wanted to leave off with the fact that like just literally the first day seeing Reek in there, like yo, like this shit felt. It was one of those things. Like I literally was telling Kayla I would wake up, be like, damn, my man's really got a kid now.
Yeah, and shout out Sean, because I know y'all was with me in spirit, of course, but like, this man was one of the first people to see my son,
Yeah, man.
And like,
shoot.
I really, that was really like I got that, that family. You know what I'm saying? Because my father was with us. Shout out my father for being like one of the first people too. But like, you was the first like guest. You know what I'm saying? My father was here with us when everything was going down. So like, you was like, oh yeah, you the guest downstairs to see y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it just was like, damn, that shit was literally support, because it was like, damn, you don't gotta be here.
I had to, man. Hell yeah, I had to be there. But
yeah, I felt horrible because I still ain't see him.
what?
Yeah, me, same.
Yeah.
Word?
Yeah,
No,
I haven't
I'm sorry,
seen
but I mean, on
I came out of the
FaceTime.
house, but
Yeah, he was asleep.
Yeah, he was sleeping.
Yeah, he was sleeping.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, you can't disrupt that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Nah, but I mean, literally, like I said, like we started the pod with like, bro, we've all had mad stuff we've been doing. Like we've literally been super busy. Like also too, when just going through a little laundry list of stuff. Like my pops literally got married. Like my pops just got married. Shout out to you, Dad.
Yeah,
like,
you took some beautiful pictures,
shout
by
out
the
to the
way,
shooter.
too.
Word.
I try.
Nah, for
Grandma,
real.
I seen.
Nah.
So
Before we
seen,
get the pops, we're gonna brag on my photography skills a little bit more. Keep going.
I'll brag. I seen Grandma earlier when we went to the hospital, and she showed me the pictures.
Oh, yeah?
It was hard.
Them shits was crazy.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Then it literally went from there until like my grandmother's surprise. They did it through a surprise birthday party for my grandmother. So like we were literally planning all of that beforehand. So it's just been mad stuff going on. But
it's a good thing we ain't have to stall Grandma for time, because she
she
came late as it is.
I'm about to say we already knew she was gonna come up. She's gonna come. She's gonna come late
fashionable
enough so that we could be able to set up everything so that she could not, see what was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just been like
April
so much.
was a dope month.
It was.
No, it really was.
Really.
But if
Can't
we
wait,
want to get
just
into
like
just some of the, we got a bunch of stuff.
Hullabaloo? Said nah. I don't know. Keep going.
I don't even know what hullabaloo like.
You never heard them saying?
No,
saying
I've
that
heard
shit?
hullabaloo, but I'm just like this is like actually topics. But
It means a bunch of stuff going on.
no, but we could either get into the
I
Mayor
apologize for my
Adams,
outburst.
Mayor Adams supposedly being on Dream Champs and being on the Breakfast Club. We can get into the protest that's happening in Gaza. The changing of the guard in the NBA right now. That's definitely something we're gonna get into, and all the crazy rap beef that's been going on.
Well, I mean, you want to go lighter topic or darker topic as far as
Nah, we gotta go darker.
Yeah, let's get dark. We just did
So,
like.
I mean, I guess we want to start with the Gaza Palestine stuff.
Well,
then?
yes, I think it is important. So if you guys haven't been living under a rock, or you just been super busy and not been looking in the news, there's been protests happening literally all over the country. I think there was some going on in, if I'm not mistaken, UCLA. There's been protests going on in Colombia, and
yeah, I was gonna say that Colombia is probably one of the more prominent ones at this moment.
Yeah. But I think it wasn't just Colombia though.
It was not.
FIT.
Listen,
FIT.
they're doing it at Rutgers.
NYU.
Yeah, so
Rutgers.
exactly. Rutgers, New Brunswick,
Rutgers,
Newark.
They have
Yeah.
like tents and all that stuff set up. I'm like,
I believe it's something around like 43 different college locations.
yeah,
around the
because a
United
lot of
States.
those schools have a like high, Palestinian population as far as students. Like,
Also, too, like I said, I think Tosin had said something to me about some of the funding. Israeli forces. I'm not gonna say forces,
it's
but like,
Israeli leader or some portion of Israeli like government funds the Columbia University.
and that's, I think you were saying
And-
in response, that's some of the reason why they haven't had some of the I guess like a outward support of Gaza.
Yeah, they
or
haven't
whatnot.
had an outward support, but not only that, they're trying to, what's the word?
like pacify.
Yeah, pacify the students there. Even, I mean, I don't want to say more than usual, but I know they've had, multiple protests of different things. And this time they're like threatening students that, oh, you're gonna be exposed, you won't be able to graduate, stuff like that. And it's just like, man, like I don't know how we can ask like our students to be major change leaders and all these other things in life and major leaders of the world without asking them to like stand on their word and use their voices, because students are usually a lot of the heart behind major issues in politics. You see, like, let's say even like the civil rights movement, they used a lot of college students to do those protests. And it's like, yo, I get it. I understand as a university you do have to have some type of like repercussion to like, kids occupying a space that may be used, but I'm like, there has to be some type of like cutoff with it, in the sense that, all right, these are our students and they're using their voice, and it may inconvenience us, but in the grand scheme of things, they're using it to really, they're doing some of the major work that we, they come to these schools for. You get what I'm saying? Learn to have a voice, learn to speak up, understand issues.
So I honestly wanted to talk to somebody that was kind of on the. I wanted to personally talk to somebody that was on the grounds, because what I was reading on through the Guardian, they were saying how the deputy commissioner of New York, Kaz Daughtry, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He was just saying how it seems to be a lot of infiltration from outside forces that's not necessarily goes to certain universities. Like one college is City College of New York. And even with Columbia, he said there's a lot of infiltration, and like even up to like upwards of like 60%, like 29% on other campuses. So
I think it's one of those things where
wait, my bad. Sorry, what do you mean when you say outward infiltration?
Meaning like it's outside influence of not actual like attendees of the university going there.
Yeah, I think that I could see that happening, but also too, that doesn't necessarily mean that the outside forces are necessarily negative. Yeah. Like they could just be people that are protesting in solidarity.
I was about to say like,
I think it just raises, it makes it a different issue though, because now they can't properly like account for the safety of the students.
Yeah,
I think that like with these things, I think there's a whole host of like issues that come with it, and that can cause issues, and also too before we even like.
But that's with any protest.
Yeah, when it comes to just the way that like a lot of these protests even work, or the way that they operate, it's a lot of moving parts with it. So I do get from the standpoint of like when it's outside influences, it changes the nature in which they're operating, helping students, and even making sure that they're safe. But I do think also too, I think a big part that can't be lost in this is what they're fighting for.
Yeah, and that's my thing. It's a protest, bro. Like protest, that's always safety is always going to be something that they're worried about. But the bigger picture of what they're protesting for is way more important. This specific protest is more pertaining to the child that had died, that had passed away in Palestine. I forgot what the name of the child was, but I don't know if y'all want to like pull it up. But basically, and the story is just so sad to like recant. But I'm going to give a summary. So basically, I believe 6 to 7 year old girl in Palestine had passed away in the car. But before she passed away, her relatives passed away in, I believe, a car bombing or some shit like that. So she was sitting in the car for hours with her dead relatives.
Jesus.
She was like no more than 10 years old, somewhere around that, right? She was on the phone trying to get help with people, and they didn't find her body till like days later. You get what I'm saying? So, they're now, I think the protest in Colombia is more directly, obviously it's for the whole of Palestine, conflict, but that specific story is kind of what they are what spurred it or catalyzed it. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, it's back to the school is being funded by Israeli supporters.
Okay, yes. I think that's a part of it too, because you have brands that are in support of Israel. You have brands like, if I'm not mistaken, Pepsi, just corporations, big corporations, a lot of them having them to boycott these places. And I think the main thing that I had to kind of understand when it came to just, because I knew that there was a bigger point that I wanted to get into with this as well, is that this podcast, man, too, like, I wouldn't necessarily call us a political podcast, but we talk about a slew of things. And when we get on this mic, I know it's two things. So when you get on the mic and you start talking, you even if you don't want to, you become sort of an authority on this. But I think that it is important for us to let us know, like, hey, we're not experts. You know, we're not trying to be the leading authorities on this thing. All this stuff is things that we're learning in real time and bringing to you with our thoughts, our opinions, and the way
raising awareness.
We're raising awareness from the vantage point that we have. So with that being said, I think the important part for us is to say, like, on two fronts, we accept all criticism and all feedback that we can get, because this is it's a feedback loop of getting people to give you information, and also to having people come on that can give us more clarity on these different topics as well.
And I think for me, like, listen, man, I ain't one of these people on CNN. Like, I care about what's going on, and I can come here and be like, oh, I was right about this, I was wrong about this. I mean, me and Sean and everybody's been talking, because I've been trying to talk about this Palestine thing, and we're trying to be, I understand being as professional as possible about it, but it's like,
responsible.
Man,
that's the main
sorry, responsible as possible about it. But me, like, I care about this topic because I have a lot of friends who are of, like, you know, Muslim faith, even some people who are like are from like Palestine, Gaza area type of shit, or they have family members that are from there. You get what I'm saying? And you know, it's like I'm trying to learn as much about it as possible, but I also understand that I can't be perfect, and also I can't wait till things are perfect for us to address that. So like for me, this Palestine thing, it's like I'm definitely all for free Palestine, because the whole conflict itself is very, like, it's despicable. It's
built on shaky grounds.
Yeah, it's like genocide. It's literally, we're literally watching genocide happen, and mass genocide. Like people who are not even involved in. First off, let's just go for something like this. You know, out of almost any of the conflicts, they said that this Palestine has killed more journalists. This is like the most this is the most journalists that have been killed, and people who have been deemed not, like, or media that has been deemed not allied with it, like Israel. People, they've noticed that some of them things have happened. They've disappeared. They've been silenced in some ways. Like, and this is happening. You get what I'm saying? While they're in Palestine, it's like, yo, this is crazy. And it's supposed to be some type of diplomatic, you know, immunity in a sense, especially with the journalism, but it's like they're purposely trying to keep them out so they can, like, shade all the dark things they're doing, bombing hospitals, cutting off communications. Like, people are like,
I think I've heard cutting off water supplies.
You get what I'm saying? Yo, people are like, women are giving birth without any type of medicine, anything at all, and having to deliver their babies on their own with no light, no sanitary tools, anything. And it's just like, yo, these are people at the end of the day. But
I just wanted to mention the young girl that you was talking about earlier, who was missing for 12 days. She was 6 years old, and her name is Hind Rajab.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
rest in peace to her.
Yeah, man. Definitely rest in peace, man. Prayers to her family, anybody. Yeah.
As well.
Relatives that had passed away in that car with her too. Like, that shit. I mean, personally, for me, like, to hear stuff like that joint really, like, hit me to my, like, core, because it's like, listen, I understand we're gonna have differences, but it don't matter how much I don't like somebody, I never wish death on anybody.
I think the further we go into just kind of getting an idea or a monicum of like the way these, you know, corrupt governments or just the way these governments work. And you know, the Palestine issue is one that started on shaky ground. You know, anytime someone is put and placed into another's land and, you know, able to be propped up and given resources and, you know, resources after resources and gain a kind of a footstool in an area in which they're, you know, they were placed, that's always going to cause conflict, you know, no matter under what grounds it is. And it's like it can be complicated at times, but at the end of the day, Palestine deserves its own right to freedom, determination, to be able to choose their own path, have their own ways of government. Because I know there's a lot of different stipulations in which they're kind of sanctioned out of certain ways of being able to, like I said, move freely within the country that is theirs.
And I think that's one thing that it's funny. Me and Rashawn, we was all just talking about like the analogy of it prior. So with the Palestine Israeli conflict, like, and I could be wrong, and I'm definitely open. Like I said, people, please correct us if anything's going on. But Israeli population that are currently in Palestine right now, is the Gaza Strip, right? I believe
so.
But like I was saying, so they were placed there after
World War II,
and they were like just kind of like refuge in a sense, sense. And you know,
because of everything that was happening in Germany, obviously after Hitler, and all that.
But Nazis. They are now trying to like having an entitlement in the sense that like this is now their land. And when it was just supposed to be hosted up there, and you know, because of U.S. alignment, it's like
the British as well.
The British as well. They feel like they can do whatever the hell they want.
And that's where you get terms like the idea of a Zionist. Zionists believe that, you know, not that this is us having refuge in a land that, you know, people are opening up to us, or not necessarily them opening up willingly, but like sort of kind of being forced to open up their gates, doing it with a sense of like, okay, but then as time goes on, like you said, this idea is that this is our land, this is our holy land at the end of the day, and we deserve to be here because our ancestors in the Bibles for some reason was a part of this land. This is the type of rhetoric that's been going on when people say like when they call someone a Zionist. I think it is important to let them know this is what they're speaking to. They're speaking to people that feel like the land is entitled to them based on biblical scripture, which is, if we're talking about in the physical world, is wild. It's a wild thing to denote. And
I think, I mean, me like, so we had, like I told you, I think the analogy that we had put before about it, just to I guess make it as clear as possible. That's like saying Talib is down bad right now, right? So I'm like, yo, Sean, Talib's down bad. He's my man's. Can he stay at your crib for a little bit till he get his life back together? Then Talib just start doing the most, like bringing prostitutes, start smoking crack in the house, saying this is my house, doing way too much in the house. But you know, I never check. I who am U.S. technically, I never check Tyler because Tyler sparked me up on the weekends. Like
he's doing you favors. It's a bit also too like I said, like inviting someone over to like, hey, can you help this person out? They're down bad. They're not in the best position. And them as time goes on being like, hey, you know, like my ancestor used to live here for a little bit, and it's like,
so I'm entitled to it.
It's like, oh, okay, well that's you know, that's cute. That's a coincidence. I didn't know that. That's good history behind the house. It's like, yeah, but you know, like that means like I low key like own some of this land. Like I actually own some of this house. Like I actually should be able to stay here for however long I want. It's like, wait, this is way different than the agreement that we originally had. So I think this thing is not like whenever you have an invading, a bit of an invading force coming into a land that is not theirs, you're always going to have constant conflict. There's no clear delineation or clear like way to make this okay. Like there's always going to be a sense of contention because you are in a land that is not yours.
Yeah, but
so
the entitlement has caused so much confusion between them.
So much death.
Yeah, so much death, and then they just they have like convinced themselves so much that it's like, bro, this our land is we're gonna die over it, and y'all gonna now they're just killing mass people. But I don't know, man. I pray for the people who are over there and the people who are suffering from this, man. This is like crazy.
And what we're gonna look to do is that whenever we post clips or when we do post a clip from this, we will send you guys. We'll have something at the bottom of it that shows resources that you guys can go and get information about more of the things that we are talking about. Because, like I said, just in real time, we're learning more about these things as well. But I think this is very important for us to like kind of get into and talk about like the media's responsibility when it comes to the Gaza thing, because that's one of the things that we notice too. Like when it comes to the media, they can drop the ball on these type of topics all the time. And what I noticed like not too long ago is that Mayor Adams, the mayor of New York, was on. I think he has an interview coming up with Drink Champs that hasn't come out yet, and he had a interview with the Breakfast Club not too long ago.
I'm so scared for that Drink Champs one. I seen all I saw was him. Top button is undone. There's no tie there. I'm like, nah, he's unhinged.
But I think it's super important though, and I think the kind of the idea that we had is like, hey, like when you have these certain politicians going on these platforms, or like Talib said, like on the Drink Champs, where it's like the optics of that looks horrible. It's like, first of all, what is the responsibility of our politicians, but also to the responsibility of our media to say like, wait, hold up.
Yeah, you got indigestion?
Yeah, I guess so. But of us as the consumers to be like, wait, this is not connected. I don't want my fucking mayor on Drink Champs.
Yeah,
like
the optics of it is not great. Only because, first off, the show is called Drink Champs, bro. They literally take a shot. I don't know if he's drinking on there, but listen, man, I worked in political spaces. Listen, the politicians do the best they can to not be shown drinking. Yeah. Now you're on a show that's called Drink Champs. Come on, my brother. Now listen, I have seen Mayor Adams on. Well, I saw him. We saw him on Breakfast Club, and I'm the Breakfast Club interview was a little bit up and down. I mean, I don't think it was the worst thing in the world, but it was also a little bit all over the place. Just from the standpoint, like, it was some of the questions he answered, some of them he was kind of doing like the political dance a little around some of the questions, especially because there's a lot of topics around New York dealing around, the migrants, congestion prices, which is ridiculous. And about
the safety on the subways.
Just about but New York just being safe altogether. You get what I'm saying? But
I do get like. So I know,
and he's under fire right now too, because I know he's under investigation too.
I did hear about that. What, for a sexual assault charge?
I don't know about what it was for. I can't remember, but I know for sure they was like doing like a.
I definitely don't want to put down his jacket if that's not the case.
Yeah, that's wild. But I know he's under investigation for something. There was like he said he's cooperating, but like I mean,
look, one thing that's very known for politicians is that they do speak out of both sides of their mouth. So you do have politicians that would say, hey, we're the safest country in the world, but also increase police presence, and on the subways, but while also talking about how safe they are, and it's like, wait, were we safe before the increased police presence, or we were saved after the police?
So I was kind of torn with the whole police thing, because even when I was thinking about it, I'm like, do y'all feel more safer about it? Would y'all feel more safe is police presence put into the subway?
That was funny because that was the question I was gonna pose to everyone, because that was my original point that I was gonna make. Like, ultimately, a politician has a job of trying to please everyone, and it's impossible to please everyone, especially when people think differently. Like, people can be given the same circumstance and have absolutely different viewpoints on it. So even alluding to what you're saying now, it's like you could come in the area, and if you see 5 police officers carrying assault rifles, one person will think, oh, I feel absolutely safe here. You know, nothing will happen here. And other people will think, well, damn, what the hell happened that they carrying machine guns? You know what I'm saying?
Start carrying my own shit.
It's well, you think that you're going to jail, but you know that's all subjective, you know. So that was the one caveat I was gonna say when it comes to like how we perceive his performance, because we have to acknowledge that like it is impossible to please everyone on like certain topics.
But see, the one thing too, I think reason why they're saying is that there's the lack of people being unsafe is because of the fact that the people who are causing people to be unsafe are the police, in the sense that there's a lot of black and brown people who are been like subject to stop and frisk. They're saying more than when was it Rudy Giuliani was the president, the mayor? No, Bloomberg.
That's the mayor
I'm
reference.
Tripping. More than when Bloomberg was mayor. You get what I'm saying? And they were saying that that's when he was like. That's the problem. That's one of the problems right there. That, you know, the stop and frisk and you know, more black and brown people being arrested. Yeah. So it's like the people that are supposed to be making us feel safe are the people that are, you know, allegedly causing people to feel certain demographic of people feel unsafe.
Yeah, I was gonna say with the, you know, speaking to the optics of Mayor Eric Adams being on Drink Champs, I just think with that, maybe it was for like relatability. It's a popular podcast, being amongst black people and feeling that comfortability to speak, and you know, Nori being a popular figure within New York City, and then you know, the Breakfast Club is just like a household name within New York City and just a major radio. And I don't know, like certain things I do want to hear him speak out more, because I do like speaking to what Tosin was talking about as far as like the stop and frisk. Like 1/4 of the stop and frisk of 15,000 people was 1/4 of it was unconstitutional, and it's like a 97% percentage of it being swayed towards black and brown people. So that's something that's definitely needs to be spoke on, and something that I just want to hear his thoughts on that. And
I think speaking to the question that Sean posed earlier was like, what is their responsibility? I think that if our politicians do go on platforms like the Breakfast Club, I can't even acknowledge Drink Champs because unfortunately, you know, just the name and kind of like the mood of their show, I can't really see how that would be a productive conversation. Exactly. Yeah. You know, but I'm not going to speak on something that I haven't seen. But when our politicians go on platforms like the Breakfast Club, I think that is a way to reach the person who isn't really super involved in the political space, like a person who isn't who they don't do their due diligence to read about what's going on in their community and everything. You know, that will reach a lot more people. Like, for example, like a Dr. Umar speech on YouTube versus an interview he does on the Breakfast Club. You know, one might have 300,000 views, you know, and those people are all well informed about what he does and his message, versus the 3 million views in 12 hours on the Breakfast Club. It's like
casual listeners.
How many of those people are just seeing who he is, you know what I'm saying, and like what his message is? Like, they didn't even know a person like that exists. That's just how broad that space is. So I think that's first and foremost, you know, that it should only be from like a informational standpoint where he goes on there to, you know, kind of divulge who he is to the people, you know, and to make it a space where, hey, you can also be informed. You know, you don't have to read, you know, the newspaper, or you don't have to watch CNN to understand what I'm trying to do for you as the people.
I would want to salute Breakfast Club on that end, because they do make an effort to have other mayors, because Ross was up there before, and to have speaking to what Talib's talking about, having them, it's cool to see them on CNN and other platforms like Fox and everything, but to have them with a more relatable and have more casual listeners of and people who understand politics to be on those type of platforms is very important as well.
So one thing I will say about this that I do feel like Eric Adams is a better PR person, because it has to be the timing. My problem is not so much that he's on these shows, the timing in which he's on some of these shows. He's on these shows now because he's under fire with certain things. You get what I'm saying? And you're right. You do need to be more vocal and answer certain questions. You get what I'm saying? The Breakfast Club was okay. It just, he didn't answer some of the stuff that needed to be answered. The Drink Champs right now is not really good, just because just the nature of how Drink Champs, I don't think, with all due respect, Nori's not going to ask hard-hitting questions about the politics and about what's going on.
Yeah, I watch enough Drink Champs.
They're gonna go like surface level and graze it, I feel like, and who knows, they might do something different. I haven't seen it yet because I don't think it's released. But like, there was certain things like, for example, on the Breakfast Club interview, even though he didn't answer everything great, there was some certain things I was like, wow, okay, I kind of get that standpoint.
It's like if we had... No, my fault, go ahead.
My bad. For example, like, they're talking about the migrants thing, and I was like, okay, I see that migrants thing, because they're dropping a lot of... They're taking buses full of migrants to all these major cities, and like Newark is one of them too. Like, Newark, they did the same thing, and it's like, we don't... Where we going? First off, some of our places are already overpopulated in a sense. We're having a housing crisis just like anywhere else. Why would you take them to these places? There's a lot of places in the United States that population, they need people to work, and there's not a lot of people there. But then also too, and this is just like, going into that little conspiracy bucket, it's like, part of it is you do kind of feel like they're trying to attack black mayors, because it's like, we already have generational issues with our like communities. You get what I'm saying? And then now you're dropping like a whole new like set of issues and as far as migrants, because that can't work. You get what I'm saying? They
taking our resources.
Yeah, they're taking a lot of resources, and resources are already scarce in places that like where we have a homeless population. You get what I'm saying? So it makes you question, and it's not just here. It's like I said, Chicago. New York, New Jersey, Chicago. I think, is it L.A.? L.A. has Chicago. There was one other city I can't remember, but
I do think like a part of it too is, as someone that's as someone that's always looking at the immense amount of wealth like the country has, I always do look at like, hey, like if these problems are arising, like we do need to like find a way to create funds or resources around these different issues. We have such an abundance of wealth, we have so many things, so many abundance of resources that we could pull from. A lot of times we notice that things do not go to people because when you live in a capitalist society, most things are for profit. If it doesn't make profit, it doesn't make sense. So if there's no real financial or economical through line that could be had throughout to these things, if it doesn't really make economical sense, then why are we doing it? If we're going to lose money, why are we doing it? So I think that's a part of it as well. But I do think when it comes to just all of these issues, whether it's the migrants, whether it's with Eric Adams, and it comes to like the media, I think the media and the way we consume media is like super important as well. And like the different platforms that we give power. Like Nori is his own lane. Like having Mayor Adams on is not going
doesn't serve the purpose.
What is that about? Like why are you going on a platform like that? To what are you going to talk about? Like at the end of the day, I do think there's a sense of relatability that you do want to have with your politicians, but I'm very much, and I've always noticed this, like my pops, we've always kind of had this thing. He would talk about pastors, and he would say, he's all right, but he just do a lot of hooting and hollering. You know, like he all that like on the mic and stuff, and like, you know, trying to rile the crowd up. But at the end of the day, what are you saying? What is it? What is the meat and potatoes of the message that you're having? It's fine to be able to be charismatic and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, what is the substance behind the person? You know, I don't want to just shout and, you know, get a good shout in and dance, and then, you know, after we're done, it's like, man, that felt good. It's like, what is the substance behind these different politicians? And
we could smell gimmicks, man.
Yeah, no, for real.
We have to hold our politicians accountable. You know, I think that the attorney that was on the show, she did do a good job of holding him accountable. One thing.
Olayemi Olorun.
Yeah, because, you know,
shout out to Nigerians.
No,
I think you know, you do gotta admit when you know, jump the gun on something. I guess I would say at first, like, I didn't really understand the angle, you know, that they had with bringing her up there. But, you know, I think that her presence kind of, he couldn't just, you know, just like how you said just now, he couldn't really just capture everyone with these symbolic victories, you know.
Yeah.
She spoke about the conditions of Rikers, you know, and like people are dying, you know, in these facilities. After Mayor Adams spoke about, like, the people aren't there. They're not there when I go to Rikers and I speak with these people and everything. And it's like, okay, well, to the public, if, you know, there wasn't an attorney there who represented the people, then we would just hear, damn, Mayor Adams visiting Rikers. You know, he out here, he don't give up on nobody. You know, he even trying to rehabilitate people in the jail system, you know. And then it's like, well, Mayor Adams, like, you actually cut funding to some of these programs and people are dying in Rikers at a higher rate than normal. It's like, you know, we do need that, like, bridge between, like, people who aren't informed of the politics and people, you know, who, okay, I watch everything. Like, she even said this in the interview, like, Mayor Adams, I monitor everything you do. You know what I'm saying? So for a lot of people, needed. Yeah, for a lot of people, they never heard that. You know, they never got to see, like, what, you know, he's doing on a day-by-day basis, or, like, you know, what policies he's really reinstituting. They're just mad at, like, the circumstances that, you know, that they encounter in their daily life. That's what happens with a lot of people. You know, they'll notice something when it affects them.
And I think that's such a great point, because I think what I've learned from just the political standpoint and just the ideological standpoint is that a lot of it is you have to take yourself out of it. You know, when a lot of people complain about policing and the way things work and operate, look, I think it's really important for me to always be I think a good dose of self-awareness has to be placed at my feet and at anybody's feet, that when you're trying to elevate politically and change the way in which you're viewing things. When it comes to a political sense, a lot of times we have to decenter ourselves, you know, and we almost have to do that in every parts of our identity. You know, me as a man, I have to decenter my manhood from the standpoint of, like, hey, I can't just look at things as just a man. You know, I have to also be open to understanding how women work in this world as a man that's in a relationship with a woman that's straight. Like, I have to also decenter that part of myself as well from how other people and their identities, how their outward identities play into things when it comes to my political sense. When it comes to just where I come up, how I grew up in pretty much a middle class family. Like, I have to decenter that part of myself as well and be able to understand how people that live below the poverty line could be experiencing. And while I can't speak to the experience from a firsthand standpoint, I have to be able to decenter myself and say, like, I have to be able to try to put myself in their shoes and be able to, and wait in ways and roundabout ways, be able to not necessarily speak for them, but also be able to advocate and be able to be there for them. So that goes into all of it for the migrant workers. And I think always being on the side of the people that have the least amount of power in society, I think is the best way that we come about creating, like, a more just, a more equitable society. And I think that's really a lot of the goals that we need to have when it comes to the way we engage with our politics.
So also past mayor Bloomberg served 11 years, 2002 to 2013. Mayor Adams just started his term in 2022, so it also just has to be accounted and have a level of understanding that implementation does take time. So he's only been there for about 2 years and maybe like three or 4 months.
And
So,
that's definitely a valid point, because even on the interview, when they asked him about congestion pricing, you know, because that's something that's very real for New Yorkers, people who are either taking the subways or people who are commuting like to and from in the city, you know, those people are the ones that are going to bear the brunt of those charges, you know, while they claimed that it was deemed for the people, you know, who don't really live in the city or just come in and make money. It's like, well, really it's hitting the people who do live in the city and the people who commute to and from in the city the most. Those are the people that is hitting the most. But when he was asked about that, he proceeds to say, well, that's more of MTA. MTA and Albany, the capital, those are the people that put that in process. So here it was, everyone was looking at the mayor like, oh, Mayor Adams on some bullshit. Like, how dare he put congestion pricing in here when people are homeless, when people are struggling, when food is more expensive than ever. And here he is on a platform, finally he gets to say like, well, I had no part in that. The best we could do was advocate for a discount for people who make less than 50,000 or people who, you know, senior citizens. You know, it's like, then you get to see, okay, this person isn't just like so detached from our way of life, you know, because he even spoke about taking the subway and everything, you know. So while there were certain things that he couldn't answer, certain questions he definitely did tap dance around, because I feel like he had no real substance behind the answer. There was some things where he was able to come out and say, listen, I really didn't have a part in that. He spoke about the thing with the migrants, you know, where it's like,
that's out of his control too.
Like, well, I was told, hey, listen, they're going to be coming to you in buses. You cannot stop the buses. That's illegal. But by the way, they're not allowed to work. You know, it's like,
not allowed to work. That's crazy. Like,
you know, so what can the mayor do about that? You know, how can he answer to the people, you know, when he has no say so in that? How can he answer to the people when MTA, a corporation, is the one that's really been the biggest part in congestion pricing? And really, it's like, we all will look to him. But if you ain't watched the Breakfast Club interview, most people probably didn't even know that he has nothing to do with that.
I think a big part of it, and you know, as we in the closing some of this topic out, is I think a big part of it is people understanding and getting more nuanced, a nuanced idea about how government works. How much power does your local politician have? Because a lot of times when we don't understand that, we see a face and we automatically see a face in a high place and we automatically think ultimate power, not knowing that there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to these people. There's a lot of people behind them that can make plays, and in how the little roles feed into the whole. So that's just something to think about.
I think the last thing I was gonna say, and one thing about it is, man, I will say, man, everything is gift and a curse. Like I was just telling y'all about, like, one thing that's beautiful here is like that private sector that controls that, you know, the MTA thing. It's like the same thing when I was talking like about how Nigeria is. The politicians got complete control about a lot of stuff. Like if they want something to be stopped, they're gonna stop the whole street. They don't. If it's like an empty situation, they'd stop it. But it doesn't allow for a lot of private businesses to flourish in a country like Nigeria and in other places. And also, like I said, I will grant the brother Grace, he did like inherit New York post COVID, and I mean, listen, that COVID is still affecting everybody. There's no way that you can't say you see it in just like the pricing, how people are living, the housing, all that. So, I mean, like I said, grace. That's all I could give them, and just also doing your due diligence as far as having knowledge with everything.
So with all of that said,
all right, let's lighten the motherfucking mood up.
What is it? The braids. Nah, but with that being,
Euphoria.
you're good.
I know.
Them superpowers get neutralized. I can only watch in silence. The famous actor we once knew is looking paranoid and now spiraling.
Look, man, I know everybody been kind of feeling a certain type of way. You know,
Talk that talk.
you know, I know.
Let's not get cut.
No. Just play a little bit in the background because I gotta talk a little bit. You know, I got something to say. Look, man, I know it's a lot of sides feeling a certain type of way. You know, you got Kendrick stans feeling a certain type of
Kenny
way.
on the beat.
You got Drake fans feeling a certain type of way. They want to go, yo, the culture up right now. We up one. We getting good music. We getting good verses. This is going to be the most this is going to be history in the making for us. What?
Man, what side are you on? Kendrick or Drake?
Man,
Don't say you're on the side of the culture.
Look,
Pick
man,
one.
like I said, I'm only biased to the music, brother. I'm only biased to the music. If the music good, that's where I'm at. So at the end of the day,
Drake had an influence on his life.
This is what we got. This is what we got.
That
you know,
shit go.
come on, man. What's the call? I gotta hit that beat switch. I gotta hit the beat switch a little bit.
Oh, you guys are bad.
Man, pick a side.
No, I'm not. Why do I have to pick a side? Why pick a side?
Cause you have to pick a side.
Bro, I literally that's the main thing that's about this beef that's been like killing me is that people want to say like, who do you think's gonna win? I'm like, bro, this is like these are Hall of Famers.
Yes. Listen, but at the same time, listen, don't get me wrong, and I don't hate Drake either. I'm rooting for I'm rooting for Kendrick because just like I like Kendrick more. Kung Fu Kenny, whatever you want to call him. Listen, you can have a favorite here. Listen, there's nothing wrong with
call him die.
There's not. Listen, and you should pick a side because low key not picking a side is picking a side in itself. It's like you're not saying anything now because
I'm really looking at it as like as the diss has come, I'm gonna put in my like right now. Dot's
horrible.
Up. Kendrick's up. Like you know he's up right now.
Man, whose side are you on?
I'm not on the side,
Man,
but like I said, I'm literally calling the fight as it goes. Like it's like I said, like all right, who I would want to win, I guess. Like if you're gonna say like who is my more favorite artist, is obviously it's Kendrick. I fuck with Kendrick a lot more,
whatever.
You know. But when it comes to like where I'm at right now,
don't
like
let him hear that.
Obviously before Kendrick dropped, I was like, yo, Drake is dropping some shit. He's been dropping some shit.
Cool,
now
I understand that.
Now that Kendrick has dropped his 2 disses, I'm like, I got Dot up because he's literally his shit has hit more.
You literally the girl at the end of the fight waiting for to see who the winner is.
Oh, you get the fuck out of here!
Fuck out of here!
Listen,
Listen. Pick a side and stay there.
I be that new hunt. All right, let's stop. I be that new hokey.
I know we couldn't trust you.
Eating fried rice.
The way I see it, so Drake has.
Wait, who you picking?
Yo, he's literally explaining it right now.
I know. I want to hear this. I want it to be clear. Don't be ambiguous. Stop. Pick one. Pick a side. Like, stop doing that.
Why would you have such an emphasis on ambiguous?
So
ambiguous.
I did not say it like that.
Nah, but so my preferred artist is Kendrick.
Okay,
that's my preferred artist. I enjoy Drake's music. I enjoy his catalog as well, but I do feel like Kendrick is up right now. I do think Drake has the capabilities to respond and have an effective response. And like I shared with you guys before the pod started, I felt as though Like That was a really good jab. It was a great jab, and it was meant to stun. And I feel as though when Drake responded with push-ups, I felt as though that was the proper response to combat Like That. Even though Like That was a monster. Like That was a monster. But people was vibing to push-ups. People thought it was a great song. Drake, he turns his diss records into a great song because he's just a hit maker. He's just a natural hit maker.
More people are still vibing with Like That over...
I wasn't saying that, but I'm just saying push Drake. He's like a factory. Like he's a machine. Like he pushes out hits. So his diss record is going to be a hit. It's going to be a big song. So that was like but okay, so with Euphoria, I felt as though that was a great uppercut. It was a great powerful uppercut, and it put more pressure onto Drake Drake. Well, I didn't even highlight the AI generated song with Tupac.
Oh yeah, we gotta get into that.
No need.
Yeah, yeah. That was poo, but yeah.
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good strategy.
Nah, listen, I think it was creative. I wasn't looking at it so much for bars and lyricism, but from the idea of it telling a story and setting a tone of like, yo, you doing this to the West Coast and creating this. He's like it's like playing like a mind game in a sense. You get what I'm saying? Because you already know Kendrick was illustrating his like an interview to Tupac in To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yes.
So and then you know he's very highly influenced by Tupac. So it's like it's beautiful. It's I like the creativity of it. Now, like I said, I'm still rooting for Kendrick, but I'm like I listen. I can always admire a great spar, a great warrior.
I will say like the reason why I'm not so like I will say eager to jump out and pick a side because there's advantages and disadvantages on both sides. You know, Kendrick, I do feel like Kendrick has hip hop culture behind him. He has the greater hip hop culture really rocking with him. And Drake is obviously a bigger global and more like, you know, all encompassing star. Mm-hmm. But Kendrick, when you talk about your diehard hip hop fans, a lot of them are rocking with Kendrick, mm-hmm. This is where this battle is kind of like playing out in. It's playing out in this real hip hop arena. But what I will say is that Drake, I think Drake could lose this battle and still be able to keep a good chunk of his audience. I feel like if Drake drops a really hard diss on Kendrick that literally changes how we view him, he could lose a big part of his core fan base. If it's hard hitting enough, if it's a big enough hit, that could really do damage to Kendrick. And I think that there's something to be said about someone that, like, I think Drake, just with the Tupac shit, Drake has shown not only is he petty, but Drake, through the things he's been through these battles, I think he's kind of like, bro, I'm going to be as disrespectful as I possibly can be. And are you willing to go that disrespectful with me?
For me,
I just quickly want to mention, because so we look at Kendrick like a hip hop purist. I think I don't want to misconstrue who Kendrick is, because Kendrick, the highest selling hip hop tour, probably first week sales for his albums, nothing less than 250,000.
He got a Pulitzer just because of his album on his albums.
Kendrick, he's not, no disrespect, and I love this artist because I rock with Black Star. He's not Talib Kweli though. He's a superstar.
He is.
What are you saying? Who, Kendrick?
No, Kendrick's a superstar. So
okay.
I was just saying.
It's just that
if he loses, I know he's a hip hop purist. Hypothetically, if he somehow lost, I don't think that he will lose a lot of his fan base.
I think here's the thing. He needs this number one. Number one, I don't think he'll lose because number one, Kendrick is. First off, he's an anomaly in a sense. The type of artist that Kendrick is doesn't really like pop off and sell the way he does.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? It's not. I don't know if we've seen someone. And here's another thing too. Like Kendrick will be. I feel like Kendrick will be okay as long as he just keeps putting out good responses. He doesn't have to. Sometimes you don't have to win the war. You just have to just stay in the fight. You get what I'm saying? And then also too with him, it's just also like. That part of me that also kind of, as much as I still like Drake, I do feel as Drake is like almost like representation of gentrification in hip hop.
No, that's like, that is the biggest part of it.
Yeah, because it's like now you got, when you look at Drake, it's just like, all right, sometimes I'm a rapper, sometimes I'm a singer, but now I'm also acting like I'm some type of gangster, but I really grew up in Canada, but I'm also half black and I'm half white, but
like he's not really, he's the chameleon of rap.
And then but I'm gonna put on these clothes and dress up the part in one way and then act like, oh yeah, no, all these problems with women and things like that, and I'm like, okay, man.
I think I always go back to Denzel, he has when he's doing Fences, he's doing interviews for Fences, and they're doing promo. They have a conversation about, is it a color conversation or is it a culture conversation?
It's an experience.
And he talks about, he talks about different movies and stuff. He talks about Schindler's List, and he talks about Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas. And he says that Martin Scorsese possibly could have done Schindler's List. He said, and Steven Spielberg could have possibly done Goodfellas, but they have cultural differences. Steven Spielberg is a Jewish man, so he could speak Schindler's List. That's, I think, has something to do about the Holocaust or whatever. Can speak to that experience with a level of detail, a level of nuance that maybe Martin Scorsese cannot. Martin Scorsese, being a Italian man, can speak to Goodfellas in a way, in a nuanced way, where he could feel a difference in it. And he talks about how, being black, you know what that feels like when that hot comb hits your hair. You know the smell of that. We know what it feels like when we say, when someone gives you, they show you a like the metal jar or the metal can of cookies, and they say like, guess
some sewing needles in there.
Yeah, they'd be like, guess what's in there? He's like, you know it ain't no cookies in there. But like, if you black, you get that. If you not just black, but if you black in America, you get that. Also too with you, Tosin, like from a
Nigerian part. I was just thinking about, I was like, yo, ain't nothing worse than you looking there going to think you about to get ice cream out the container and it's fucking stew.
Yeah, no,
just hella stew and fucking other shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, it's a part of that where it's like, wait, hold up, like there's a deeper nuance part of that conversation, and that people could speak to when they're entrenched in the culture. And a lot of the stuff with me, for instance, when it comes to Drake, it's always going to be hard when you have someone that's, Drake has said it himself, he's Jewish, which is nothing wrong with that, but he's from Canada. He's not from the ends in Canada. He's from the suburbs. He said he grew up in a Jewish neighborhood. Also, too,
he had to get a cosign from one of the best rappers in history, Lil Wayne, just to be rocking with us.
And also, too, he went to an all-Jewish school.
And
so
let's not forget that he was on Degrassi.
He was on like all of these things I'm speaking to. He's literally a child actor. So like,
it's not to negate his skill. It's just that it's like
when you're wearing barrettes in your hair. When you're a 30-year-old man, when I know for a fact you didn't grow up like that.
It's almost appropriation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like people start looking at you like, or when you want to speak, but when it comes to like trying to be gangster or you trying to talk about wartime, you want to talk about these mob ties. But are these your mob ties or these Jay Prince mob ties? Or when you want to get gutter or whatever, and you doing the show and you executive producer for Top Boy, now you got a UK accent. It's like, and now you on UK drill
and then
beats.
you trying to do Afro beats too and trying to credit yourself. Like, go ahead, bro.
So I'm just like, no one else gets a chance to be in so many cultural bags and be able to like I said, like take them, wear them, take them off when they want to, and then just go back to like,
like even for us, like I like you saying, we all for the most part grew up in like middle class neighborhood, but we're all in the same light. Like, we necessarily didn't grow up in the hood, but we're like hood adjacent.
Yes, we went to schools in the hood.
I was about to say, and that's the thing about it. Like, we know certain experiences. Like, can't nobody tell us about how, like, when we used to walk home, it's like, yo, you gotta make sure you got your key ready when you're going into the door. Or don't walk down the street with your headphones. Don't walk down Norfolk, Quan. No.
And just and literally just because we grew up like I said, I grew up in a lower middle class neighborhood, but that didn't stop me from playing basketball pickup or someone getting in an argument and they pull a gun out. That didn't stop me from walking down a secluded alley with me and Quan and getting a gun pulled on us because someone trying to rob us. Like that don't stop you from, when you grow up in these type of environments, that don't stop you. You could speak to a certain experience. And a lot of stuff with Kendrick is his argument for Drake is like, bro, you not cut from this. Like, you're not cut from this cloth, but you're trying to speak like you are. You're not culture. You're not culture, but you're trying to make yourself the king of it.
But I do love how Kendrick is using that to attack him, his insecurities, as far as like with some of these songs, just criticizing, his trying to be this way and his association with these things to make himself feel black enough. I mean, I love it from the psychological chess standpoint. You get what I'm saying? I really didn't care prior because I'm like, all right, Drake, it is whatever. But I love it coming from Kendrick.
Do you guys think, do you guys think, let's say Drake drops another smash like hit song as a diss, and it has people heads bopping? Do you think Kendrick does it warrant another full song response, or does it warrant like Kendrick giving him jabs and subtle shots in other songs? What do you guys think?
Well, it's an all-out war at this point.
No, I'm about to say it's all-out war.
They're going head to head. It's no more subs at this point.
Okay. I'm just had to ask.
What you think?
Oh no! I'm just enjoying the conversation.
I just want to know what.
Wait, what's your side, Tyler?
So yeah,
my bad. We thought we forgot about you.
What's understood don't gotta be said.
I don't understand anything.
I walked in into here this afternoon singing Euphoria.
I appreciate you, brother, because these other two men wanted to be ambiguous.
But I feel that I definitely share that same sentiment Sean does, because when Push Ups came out, you remember we had a conversation that was hard.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't gotta be a Drake fan or a Kendrick fan to just acknowledge if his song is great. So that was a great diss by Drake. And the first thing I'll say was, first of all, it's because I didn't expect it. That was first. Shit definitely caught me by surprise. Where I thought Drake was gonna come in with subtle like jabs at Kendrick. For him to first, directed at like everyone who kind of had something to say about him, but then really like still directed to the top dog. That was tough. No pun intended on that. To direct it to the top dog, that was tough. But when I heard Euphoria, like, that was different.
I'm like, he's here.
Euphoria was different. I appreciated it first just because of like how many different like angles he took on it. Like it was ferocious at times. It was like mocking at times. It was witty.
Yeah.
It was more clever to me than anything. I think that the beats on it were hard, and they set a tone of like, yo, I'm coming at you, like, what's up? Like you heard the disdain he has for him in his voice and the beat, and everything.
And he even used a little bit concerned, because at one point he kind of like talking to him and like almost like he's a therapist.
No,
yeah.
I think
like peeling some layers back,
or at least losing the analytical part.
I think for this part of where we're at now in the battle, this has to be. There's no longer we're. I'm not saying we're at the end of it, because it could go on longer, but we're in the part of the battle where it's like, hey, one of y'all needs to try. If y'all gonna try to take
into the thick of it.
Yes, if y'all trying to take the title, this is where y'all need to throw them haymakers. Y'all need to throw these haymakers and get it out of here. So the next diss these two drop are going to be one of their best shots that they have. They will. The next diss that they put out will not be old material. They will be bringing new things to light. If they say they got a nuke, they will be bringing the nuke on both sides. So I'm waiting to see that.
I enjoyed the 616 song, but it's like, I say this in the like most praising way possible. I don't think Kendrick can do better than Euphoria. Like I thought that shit, like, if we wasn't in such a microwavable culture where like, somebody got to drop an album every year and stuff like that, like, I think that would be like a classic. Like, that would be like an all-time great song.
I will say I think he will have to outdo Euphoria, because I think the next diss Drake brings out will be a haymaker.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big thing.
It's not going to be better than Euphoria.
I'm not gonna say it's gonna be better than Euphoria, but it's gonna be It's going to be earth shattering. I will
But that's
say
the
that.
thing, though. Kendrick set the bar so high that like people are literally saying like, "Nah, Kendrick killed him. Like this shit is over." All
People
that,
were
like,
saying that about Kendrick too before he
yeah,
came out.
The fans be so fickle, bro.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
But I've heard-
Drake, they're leaning towards.
But see, that's the point though. Like you gotta be like I said. I call myself I'm fair weather. So if Drake drops some shit and it's like hard, then I will give it the praise it deserves. You know. But I just think that like the way I see Drake, first of all, I don't think Drake can drop something that would be as clever as Euphoria. Now, the only way Drake would be Kendrick is if it was some shock value shit. Like if he was
I know he's
way
gonna
more
go for.
disrespectful and everything, and that would be cool, but I don't need shock value for something to be like, oh, he got the better of him. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, yeah, Drake might throw a haymaker that really rocked Kendrick, but like I can look at that Kendrick song and no pun intended, again, that was a Terrence Crawford performance. Like he dominated him with that entire, you know what I'm saying? Like that was an extended duration of Kendrick asserting himself. So I can't even look at like if Drake say something just like off the wall, like he would get points in his like, you know, in my book for that. But I look at Euphoria and it's like I was legitimately laughing during the song. Then when I listen to it again, just because there's so many details in it, it's like, damn, he really was dissing him in like sophisticated fashion, you know? And then it was, damn, these beats hard as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally got the best of everything that rap can be for me. So I just can't see Drake, you know, responding with something better than that. Shock value, I can't speak on that, but something better, you know, like sonically. I can't imagine him responding with something better sonically. And if he does, I'll be the first person 2 weeks from now to be like, damn, that was hard, Drake.
So I just hope that Drake's next response is something that's thought provoking. It leaves us in full anticipation for Kendrick's next response. And yeah, I hope it's not another hit song and another catchy club banger. It's something that goes here and then it's going to next week. I hope it's something that we really have to analyze lyrics. We go on Rap Genius, and yeah, because this battle has been one for the ages.
Like
already,
to me, you can't beat sophistication with like, you know, pop culture. You know what I'm saying? That's the main angle that I have on it, because I can't hear Drake drop some catchy shit where like we in the clubs like, oh, that beat hard, because Euphoria beats was hard. Yeah. You know, and then Drake say some shit.
What are you really saying? We don't need it. We don't need a club anthem right now,
bro. I promise that's the way. That's the
and
angle
I ain't gonna hold you.
it
Doesn't help that like that is kind of dominating charts, and it's a club banger.
Like,
it's like I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, Drake, you could drop something, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Like that is still
he's entering into your arena, but still maintaining his true essence.
But like I said,
artist.
my main thing that I'm always going to keep going on is, like I said, all of this comes down to, like I said, there's a difference when you have someone that is someone like Kendrick that doesn't have a lot of blemishes on his record. It's a lot easier to get someone dirtied up when they come in with an all white, you know, all white linen on.
For sure.
Whereas Drake, he's actually kind of he's so popular that we see all of his shit. We see all the times that, you know, all the times he gets up in drama. We hear about his kid. A lot of shit comes down to like, what more can you say about him? If it comes down to even him ghostwriting, you have to really pull out like real hits that this nigga is not writing, that for us to feel differently, which I think Kendrick was probably gonna do. But when it comes to Kendrick, there are angles that I feel like Drake could kind of get into chink at that armor because he has such a big mystique.
But my thing is, I think we might be looking at it the other way around. It's like, for us, this is more. Would you say, okay, can we agree that in a sense Drake may be the bigger artist?
Yeah, he's a bigger artist.
Okay, Drake is the bigger artist. There's always that saying, like, even 48 Laws of Power, like, you want to hit the bigger target because now if he's coming at you, it brings more attention and light to you. Even the fact that they're sparring like this, and then that Kendrick has made it like, damn, now Drake has to respond, it's already a win for him. Because there was so many people saying about Drake. They was like, yeah, he don't gotta respond. He ain't gotta respond because who is Kendrick? The fact that he even responded now.
Somebody said that directly. A Drake fan directly said that to my face.
The what?
That he doesn't have to respond.
Yeah, but that's someone that's delusional though. Because
the reason. So in the sense that the bigger artist thing, he didn't necessarily need to respond because it wasn't gonna do this whole back and forth isn't gonna do nothing. But it's because of that insecurity that him wanting to be a part of rap culture and black culture that he feels the need to respond because they're always in the back of their head saying, "Yo, well, I mean, yeah,
how
you
people
an artist,
gonna perceive me if I
yeah,
don't
but
respond.
like you can't even really like.
I mean,
you gotta rap with these.
I
niggas.
look at it.
You gotta rap against the best, and Kendrick is one of the best right now.
But also too, I think it does come down to like we do have to be honest about that. That Kendrick, if you're talking about the biggest rap artists, like it's Drake and then it's Kendrick. Like it's not.
I know, but
there
that's
is
what I'm
no
saying.
real. There is no real comparable second place. So it's like when you're talking about Drake's star and in comparison to Kendrick's star, no, it's not. Kendrick's star is not as big as Drake, but it's not like he's not a peer. They're peers. They're looking
they're
at each
peers
other.
in rap.
Yes, they're peers. They are
They're
peers
in rap. But as far as like the music industry, it's like to the rest of the industry, Drake is like so out of this world compared to Kendrick.
Yeah.
And in a sense, yeah. And
that ain't another stratosphere.
I wouldn't say another stratosphere, but he's definitely noticeably bigger as far as industry.
Bigger.
To me, hip hop, Kendrick is bigger. But as far as like, music industry, this does a lot. Because it's like
widespread impact.
Yeah, because you're hitting at bigger. You're technically hitting at bigger targets. When really, as far as when it comes to, because you can't. Because here's the thing, Drake can't sing his way out of this. He can't be R&B melody his way out of this.
I will say because he has such a big audience, it's like casting a big net. He has a big net.
You need some kombucha, brother?
Yeah, I guess so. He has a big net to cast. So he might lose a certain amount of people in this.
I know you laughing at that shit because I am too.
What? What happened?
Need some kombucha, bro.
Need some kombucha. Like, damn.
I try my hardest not to laugh
I
at
don't know why my
that.
shit was acting up like that.
Yeah.
But nah, my whole thing about it is that, he has a lot of people that, like I said, will come back even if he gets his ass kicked. Like I said, for Kendrick, you're talking about someone that has a really, really big hip hop audience.
Man, Meek Mill is still alive.
Is he?
Yeah, he still was dropping tracks and all that stuff after. They were still.
And who the fuck cares?
But that's not because of the fact that he would listen. I don't think. But that's the thing.
Like, would you call that living?
Here's the thing. I don't think Meek Mill had crazy quality music before that.
The album was after that beef. So
that's what I'm saying. It's like that's what I'm saying.
Dropped a project with Ross this year and nobody cared about it.
But that's because he dropped it independent too. So that's a little different. He's not backed by a major.
Why is he independent? Though?
Huh?
Why is he independent?
I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of people would want to be independent because it's like, bro, that shit is slavery. It's like even if I sell 30-something thousand, it's better than if I sold 30-something thousand under the label. It's even better if I sold 300,000 better under the label.
My whole thing about it is that when we're talking about who this beef could really hurt, I really do think this could hurt Kendrick in a way that it might not be able to hurt Drake not because of us, like, because we have our own ways in which we view stuff. But I'm talking about for the greater public. A lot of people kind of accept some of Drake's garbage, unless it's like new, really scathing stuff where it's like, ooh, like where we can't deny it. For Kendrick, like I said, people are kind of waiting to see what Drake says because they're like, well, shoot, this dude drops every 5 years. We don't really know about his personal life. They're waiting to hear. Even if Drake is lying about certain things, people are going to be like, oh, wow. Like I said, if he said something about Kendrick's wife or something like that, like, cheating on him or something like that, like, to me, I think that's whack. I think it would kind of come off as like corny. But at the same time, it's just like if he can package it in a certain way where people are like, oh, wow.
It goes to the whole point of shock value, feeding the fans of that ooh and ah. But I do agree with you to that point. we haven't seen any chink in Kendrick's armor.
Not like that.
Nah.
Because that's what killed. I mean, honestly, that's really what got Pusha the win on Drake. It's the whole thing with his kid. When he came out, it was like, yo, like basically you're hiding a child, and like that hurt Drake. That shock value of hearing that was like,
better not push
wait,
on me.
word.
I see you pushing T.
That's what I'm saying. It's literally was like people's like, wait, what? No one knew that. The shock value of that is what killed Drake. Not the song was hard.
But
too.
now, what's even more cornier you find out about Drake is that he's putting money in the streets just to find out dirt on him, and it's like now you're
because he already knows that's what's gonna do it.
Yeah, but that's so. It's like not. But that adds to your corniness of it. Like it's like. It's one thing when we have the idea of like, oh, he knew this on the low and just used it later, but like you really going out your way to go find about this. Like it's starting to get corny.
I'm sorry though, like if Drake come out like, yo, you talk about you in Compton and remember that one time that dude beat your ass, like I would just be like, oh wow.
But that's why I said that's what he's saying.
But like I said, if it depends on what you enjoy because. I know Drake's not gonna rap better than how Kendrick did on Euphoria.
And that'd be my thing.
That's first and foremost. He's just not going to perform something.
I will
better.
say this though, like I said, I've always said this. Drake and Kendrick, when it comes to rapping, like they're not far apart. Like to me, it really comes down to preference, but they're not far apart. Like
they absolutely are far apart.
I was about to say, yo, you know what's funny?
Just,
You've been saying this a lot because I was like, yo, don't get me wrong, Drake raps really well, but when Kendrick raps, it's like. I don't even know how to explain it. It's really to me.
You have
it's
to
just,
think.
It's a lot better. Like, but even now,
raps.
he's kind of like dumbing down a lot of his bars with some of this stuff, just so that we can understand.
No, Drake is a really I'm speaking on someone that just likes hip hop. Drake will hit you with a lot of double entendres, he triple entendres, like. The boy gets in his bag when he's really getting into like when he's trying to, especially when he get into his cloth talk, when he's just talking about his wealth and how much he's on top and stuff like that.
I love
he could really
Kendrick
get into
is taking the very much psychological term. Yeah, I feel the same way. Kendrick is taking that mental psychological
4 to 5
term.
days. I bet we get a response. That's all.
I mean, I bet you it won't be better than what we saw.
It's May 3rd. 4 to 5 days. We will get a response.
Okay, OVO. This is PG Lang over here.
I will say, like I said, I'm just saying this. If he doesn't,
I'm that too because we both against.
If he
OVO.
doesn't, my thing about it is that I will predict this. If Drake, because Drake's probably gonna drop 2 disses. I predict that he will drop 2. He may drop 1 just to be like he might drop a nuke and then he might just drop something afterwards or just to like try to quote unquote rub it in. So I'm saying like be prepared for these next 2 disses from both of them. Like I said, I'm talking about from both of them. They will be better than whatever they dropped already. Kendrick will be looking to drop something better than Euphoria, and
meaning that they're going to be better in their own performance.
Yes, they are coming better. They are going to come at a step above what they've done because they're literally right here. They haven't. Like we could be honest about how good the songs sound and how good they sound rapping. When it comes to like the ways in which we're viewing them, I'm not really viewing them too much different. Like I'm not viewing Drake, even though I love the disses that Kendrick put out him. I'm not really viewing Drake too much different than what he is. Like even with Drake, with the disses that he put out on Kendrick, I'm not really viewing him too much different. At the end of the day, it could go either 3 ways. Kendrick ends up injuring Drake to a point where we look at him completely different. Drake does that to Kendrick where we look at him completely different. Or they just beat the shit out of both each other, and we kind of just is like, oh well, I guess it's a draw. They both beat each other.
Goku Vegeta shit.
Yeah.
No, at this point, we're literally just arguing greatness.
Y'all
Greatness.
didn't think Drake was different when Kendrick said, when you see sexy red, I think you see 2 bad bitches.
No,
I'm sorry, y'all can't tell me.
What was the back end of that bar?
What you mean?
Talking about some popping ass.
Yeah.
He said
He said, I don't think you like real women.
You like women. You probably in competition. You probably popping ass.
That
was so silly.
But that's what I'm saying. That's just goofy, funny,
it's a
quotable.
I guess we could slowly start to end this thing. But I love how Kendrick. I love how Future said "fuck you" then just proceeded to make an amazing album.
No, that's literally what you gotta do.
That's really awesome because I don't think Future's gonna try to outbar him, but he's gonna make amazing music and say "fuck you," and just kept it moving.
And like I said, when it comes to all of this, I'm really waiting and seeing because, like I said, we are not anywhere near to this being over. We probably got another 3 weeks of this stuff going on because these dudes are about to drop They're about to drop their nukes. The gloves are off. They're not playing anymore. They're saying, okay, I'm going to make people look at you different on both sides. And I'm just telling y'all to prepare for that.
I saw some shit that they were saying with the Euphoria shit. It's also applicable to J. Cole.
How?
He's half black and half white.
Wait.
That's the only thing.
I mean, also him talking.
Kendrick's wife.
He referenced J. Cole just even a couple of times in the song, though.
Yeah, but I was also saying that's like, I mean, you could just be like making a lot of music to now feel more blacker. That was part of what Kendrick was rapping about that shit.
I don't think so because I think, like I said, I think the thing was not really a color thing. It's really a culture thing. I think Kendrick doesn't respect Drake because of the fact that he feels like he's not cut from the culture.
You got to think about where J. Cole is.
Nah, but that's what I'm saying.
Grew up in like a trailer park and
also to the South. The South,
yeah.
when you talk about that black South shit, like that's a different.
But he also was talking about he wasn't really in no real danger shit like that either.
Well, Fayetteville is not like. It's not really. I don't know if it's the slum straight up, but it's like.
But I mean, like I said, I just found it funny when they were saying like some of these bars are applicable to J. Cole.
Oh yeah, but I think that's people just getting caught up in the fact that these niggas are light skinned and they fucking and they got
they got Caucasian moms.
They got Caucasian moms. But with that being said,
wrap it up, man. Trying to kick these niggas' ass in the UFC.
We appreciate y'all for listening to us.
OVO supporters over there.
We will be coming out with new episodes in 2 weeks.
PG Lang over here.
Thank y'all. We've been, like I said, we've been having so much shit to do. It's been a lot going on. We've been living our lives and just moving through. We're dropping like Kendrick does. Yeah. So, but
back to the regularly scheduled programming.
But no, it's going to be quality when y'all get it. Love y'all. Peace. Enjoy y'all weekend.
Next time.
Till next time.